Hi, I'm Berkman, first baseman for the Houston Astros, and I'm a native Texan, born in Waco, Texas, and grew up in Austin, Texas, and I grew up in a Christian family. I always tell people, when you talk about drugs and sports, or particularly steroids and baseball, I always tell people I've overcome a drug problem. My parents drug me to church every time the doors open, so I grew up knowing the Bible, having a great foundation, a great knowledge of the scriptures, and was pretty tame until I got to my senior year of high school, and then my first couple years of college, and started to do some things and live in a way that wasn't pleasing to the Lord and wasn't conducive of being a Christian. And the problem was I had a whole lot of head knowledge about God, but not a lot of heart knowledge. There's a story I like to tell that illustrates kind of where I was at with the Lord. We have a pitcher, Roy Oswalt, one of the best pitchers in the National League, and he's been my teammate for, probably about 10 years. And one day we were out standing in the outfield during batting practice, and there was a guy that was leaned over the outfield fence, and he was screaming at Roy, and he was saying, Roy, Roy, we're kinfolk. Roy's from Weir, Mississippi, which is a little old bitty town in Mississippi. He's from way out in the country, and this guy looked like he was from the set of Deliverance, overalls and a flannel shirt in the middle of the summer, and he was sitting there screaming. I'm not sure he had all his teeth, but he was dead set and convinced that he and Roy were kin. And I turned to Roy and I said, Roy, you know that guy? Roy said, I have no idea who that is. And I got to thinking about that, and it struck me, this guy that was standing on the rail probably knew everything there was to know about Roy Oswalt, probably knew where he went to junior college, probably knew all of his statistics, his ERA, his wins and losses. Heck, he even claimed to be related to him. But the reality was he didn't know Roy personally, and Roy didn't know him. And that's kind of where I was at with the Lord going into my junior year of college. I knew a lot of facts about God, but I didn't know God on a personal level. And that all changed for me my junior year in school, and came to a realization that being a Christian is more about just saying that you're a Christian. It's about the way we live our life, and God really got a hold of my heart through the influence of my roommate, and eventually my roommate's sister, who I ended up marrying. And he's still working on my heart, but I came to a realization that Christianity is not a religion, it's a relationship, and it's a relationship with Jesus Christ, and it's a living and dynamic thing, and not just something that you do. It's who you are. And so through life's challenges, it doesn't guarantee you a smooth or easy life, but being a Christian is a vastly better way to live than the way I was living before. And I'm just glad that God has chosen to save me through His grace and through His Son Jesus Christ. Well, I would just say to the kids out there, our society here in America, there are a lot of things that people potentially could idolize, and a couple of big ones are, wealth, having plenty of money, power, fame. All those things are very important to Americans' success, and you can waste your life chasing after those things. And the problem is those things promise something that they can't deliver. They promise to satisfy a need or to fulfill a desire that you have in your heart. But I can tell you from personal experience, because I've gotten to experience a lot of those things. Major League Baseball players, they're relatively famous. We make plenty of money. There's a certain status that goes with it. But I can tell you right now that it's not satisfying, and nothing will satisfy you like a relationship with the Lord will. And I think that God creates us with a hole in our heart that only He can fill. And sadly, people run after all kinds of different things, idols, if you will, that they try to fill that hole with, and they just won't fit. So my encouragement to you would be to pursue that relationship with Jesus Christ, because that is going to be the most fulfilling and most lasting thing that you'll ever do.